Alright, this is the Southwest Florida TechNet YouTube channel, and welcome to part 2 of the KSUN ZL10 review. This is going to be the part where we hack this thing and get customizations and unlock settings on this radio. I haven't figured out how to install new apps yet, but I have figured out how to make the screen much improved. Look at this. You can actually see, you can read people's usernames, you can actually scroll through the different channels you have available. And when you're in a channel, you can actually navigate. You can actually get access to buttons you could not access before. For example, the camera, the speaker, the signal strength indicator. This one was behind the power button before, so you couldn't access that. You can get to the options screen and you can change your settings in here. And as a bonus, you can now see the little push to talk button. So when we transmit, you can see the colors. You can see it turn red. You can see it turn red, and you can read the name of the person talking, and you can see a little preview text underneath there. So now I'm going to show you how to do all this. It's pretty simple and easy, so I'll make a little guide here. First of all, plug it into your computer with a data cable, not the provided USB cable they give you, because that does not carry data. You need an actual USB, micro USB cable that can carry data. So once it's plugged into the computer, it's time to get on your machine and do some things. Alright, the first thing you'll need on your computer to be able to access this radio and change settings is the Android Debug Bridge. This is available for both Mac, Windows, and Linux, but we're going to be doing it on Linux because it's pretty easy. So to install it, just open up your terminal and type sudo apt install adb. It'll ask for your password, hit enter. It's already installed, but if it wasn't, it would start installing. The next tool you'll need is Screen Copy. This is a Linux-based tool for controlling an Android device over USB. If you're on Windows, you can use the Chinesium app that's called Total Control, but I would be careful with it because it seems kind of sketchy. Anyway, to get Screen Copy, you just do sudo apt install scrcpy. Is the name of the package, and I already have it installed as well. So with the radio plugged in, we want to type adb devices, and you can see here my device is listed. Make sure the radio is the only thing plugged into your computer while you're doing this. The next step is to run Adb Shell. This is going to put you into a Linux terminal inside the radio. Since this radio is running Android 5 and Android is just basically Linux, we have the terminal, and a lot of the commands are the same. So the first quality of life hack that I highly recommend for this radio, even if you don't do anything else, is to resize the screen. The resolution that they provide you with is really, really low, and so the Zello app is barely functional, and it looks clipped and chopped up, and it covers parts of itself up. So the best thing to do is run WM for Window Manager, and then do size, and then you want to type in 248x200. I've done some trial and error and figured out that this resolution works best, so go ahead and enter. And there you go, the shell is returned, and that means your setting change that you did is complete. So there's the screen fixed. The next command that could be useful is settings put system screen off timeout, and then set this to whatever you want the timeout to be in milliseconds. So I want it to be 2 minutes, so I'm going to do 120000. That will set the system screen timeout to 2 minutes. By default, it is just 1 minute, so 60,000 milliseconds. Alright, now to get custom sounds onto your radio for Zello to use as notifications for push to talk or Roger beep, stuff like that, we need to add our WAV files to the Zello folder on the actual radio. And because the radio does not show up as a volume on your computer, you have to still use ADB. So to do that, we're going to first off start off by going Adb Shell. Then we are going to do CD storage, and then CD SD card 0. CD means change directory, and we're now in SD card 0, which is the main storage folder on this radio. Next, we just want to do CD Zello, and then if you type ls, it'll list the files in the folder. You can see I already have a sounds folder, but if this is their first time doing this, you will not have a sounds folder. So you need to run the command mkdir space sounds. And it failed because the file already exists. So when you run it yourself, it'll create the sounds folder, and when you run ls again, you should see history and sounds. The next step you need to do, you need to exit out of the shell. Then you want to run adb push, and then you want to type the file path to where you have all your sound effects stored on your local computer. So in my case, it's /home/Joseph/desktop/ham/tones/wave. And then you hit space, and then you type the directory where you want to send the files, and then in our case it is /storage/SD-card0/Zello. Go ahead and hit enter. You can see there it transferred to 2 megabytes a second. And now if we go back into Adb Shell, CD storage, CD SD card 0, CD Zello, ls, CD sounds, ls. So that's how you upload your files to the radio. It's fairly easy. It's not that complicated. And just make sure you have all your files in WAV format, and make sure they are all under 1 megabyte. If you try and do something more than 1 megabyte, the Zello app will say you can't use it. Now that you have your sounds uploaded, it's time to actually select them in the Zello app. And because this is not a touchscreen, not all functions in the Zello app work with the arrow keys. You actually have to be able to tap. I showed you earlier how to install screen copy, so now we're just going to run scrcpy in the terminal. Go ahead and enter, and if your radio is connected, here you go. Now you have a little window where you can actually see the radio. So from here it's pretty easy. Since we can now simulate touch, we can hit buttons with the mouse. So go to options, and you can use the scroll wheel too to scroll down. So we're going to scroll down to notifications, and from here we can actually select our sounds. Now, as I said before, these options are not accessible using the arrow keys. Now that you're on a touch screen, basically, you can click these and they work. You can see I can mute and unmute. And to change a sound to a custom sound, you hit the little music note, and here you go. You can scroll, you can select your sound. So I like the TBRO Motorola digital, and there you go. Click it, it's set. Go back, go back. Now when you transmit, you can hear it making all your sound effects. So that's how you navigate the menu. Being able to remote into this is kind of cool. You can just kind of poke around here. Pushing escape on the keyboard will get you back to the home screen. Arrow keys will let you navigate a little bit. You can see here's all our settings. And that's about it for the modifications for these radios. In the description of this video there will be a written guide on how to do this, as well as links to other guides for how to install ADB and screen copy. Anyway, I hope this video helps. If you liked it, leave a comment, and I'll say 73s.